Decimal notation is another way to express fractions. It must be understood when taking the GED math exam. Just like with fractions, decimal notation can be used to represent wholes or parts of a whole. We see decimal used with money every day. For example, 25 cents represents a quarter of a dollar. Place values. The positions to the right of the decimal point are called place values. Whole numbers on the left have place values too. This diagram shows you the names of the place values before and after the decimal point. The number 6 is in the tens place. The 6 in the tens place has a value of 60. 6 times 10 equals 60. The number in the hundreds place is 3. That 3 has a value of 300. 3 times 100 equals 300. So what about the place values to the right of the decimal point? They are all parts smaller than 1. The number in the tenths place in the picture is a 1. The 1 is 1/10 of a whole, or 1 over 10. The hundredths place has a 4 in it, which is 4 1/100ths, or 4 over 100. Let's look at how to use decimals with money. In the expression $175.46, which number is in the tenths position? Tenths are in the first place following the decimal point. We can see that 4 is in the tenths position, meaning we have 4 tenths or 4 dimes. Writing integers as decimals. Any integer, whole number, can be written using decimal notation. For example, the number 1 can be written as a decimal, 1.0, or not a decimal, 1. You are probably used to seeing this with money. Often, $1 is written as $1.00. $2.25 is written as $2.25, which is the same as 2 and 25 over 100. In other words, you've been using decimals all along in everyday life. Adding and subtracting decimals. Adding decimals is much like adding whole numbers, but there are a few important differences. The decimal points must be lined up when you are adding or subtracting. You have to do this so that everything stays in the right place value. Put the numbers you are adding or subtracting under each other. Add or subtract the numbers that are right above and below each other. Start with the numbers on the farthest right, just like you do with whole numbers. You can also quickly add and subtract decimals on a calculator. Let's look at this sample question. 1. Use your calculator to answer this question. Javin had $4.71 and then earned $54.75. How much does Javin have now in total? A. $50.04, B. $58.75, C. $59.46, D. $5,954. Explanation and answer. Be sure to type the values into your calculator correctly, especially the decimal point. You do not need to type in the dollar sign. 4.71 plus 54.75 equals 59.46. If you are not using a calculator, be sure to line up the decimals and the place values before you begin to add. The math section of the GED exam will put your decimal notation skills to the test. Happy studying!